Call this meeting to order. The March 16th edition of your Goldsboro City Council meetings. It is 5:30. We will begin in our standard tradition of invocation followed by pledge. As we rise to join in those traditions, if you would, please remember to silence your cell phones, put them on Do Not Disturb or whatever else, as I'm the one that forgets to do. But with that, if our fire chaplain, Archbishop Anthony Slater, would come forward and lead us in invocation, followed by the pledge.
Good evening, council and staff. We thank God for each and every one of you. We want to thank God tonight for allowing another storm to pass. We made it through another horrific idea. So let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for all that you've done. We thank you for remembering us even in this storm and even those who were affected, God. We ask you to bless them, cover them, Lord, and we thank you for what you're doing here in the city of Goldsboro. Father, we thank you for putting us on your agenda, and we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Deputy Clerk, if you please conduct a roll call.
Yes, sir. Mayor Gaylor.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Weeks.
Present.
Councilwoman Jones.
Present.
Councilman Boyette.
Present.
Councilwoman Taylor.
Present.
Councilwoman Matthews. Present. Councilman White.
Present.
All right, all present and accounted for. As always, appreciate the time that this council puts into this, and then the commitment to being here. We're blessed to have each and every one of you in these chairs. We will move next to an adoption of the agenda. Council, an agenda has been prepared and presented and distributed. Mr. Livingston, are there any staff recommended or requested changes to the agenda as presented?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Mr. Lawrence, closed? Or no? No? All right. So, Council, we do not have anything to close. Council, are there comments, questions, or motions to amend or adopt the agenda as presented?
I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to adopt the agenda as presented. We'll vote electronically if all are able. Are all able? Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. Then we will give a few seconds for votes to be tallied. If you would just state your vote for the record.
There it is, 6-0.
Perfect. All right.
I know.
Did you log in?
Yeah.
Did you vote?
Did you hit save? I'm sure I did.
If you would, please just state your vote for the record. Just say yay or nay. Yay. All right, perfect. We have a 7-0 consensus on the agenda. All right, next, we will move forward with our recognitions and presentations. We will begin with item 4.1, our Children's and Families Month proclamation. And we will go in the order that's presented here in the agenda. And for those who will be coming forward to speak, just a matter of logistics, if it is okay with you, what I will do is I will read the proclamation and then invite you to the podium to come and speak if there are comments that you'd like to deliver to the public or to the council. And then after that, I'll step forward and then we can do pictures if you'd like or something like that, okay? All right. So with that, let's begin with item 4.1 on our agenda, a Children and Families Month proclamation. Whereas the week of April 12th is recognized as the Week of the Young Child, a time to focus public attention on the needs of young children and their families, and to affirm that access to affordable, high-quality early childhood education and health care, particularly in the first 5 years of life, is vital to building a strong community, state, and nation. And whereas the City of Goldsboro recognizes the tireless efforts of individuals working in agencies, nonprofits, child care programs, schools, and family-serving organizations who provide care, education, and essential services that support children and families and help create a safe, healthy, and equitable community. And whereas April is recognized nationally as Child Abuse Prevention Month, bringing attention to the fact that child abuse and neglect are serious issues affecting every segment of our community. and that effective prevention requires the commitment and collaboration of all citizens. And whereas child abuse and neglect can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that impact individuals, families, and communities across a lifetime. And whereas prevention remains the most effective way to protect children and strengthen families, and successful prevention efforts rely on strong partnerships, education, and community-based support. And whereas communities must promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families by building protective factors that reduce risk and support the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children. And whereas the City of Goldsboro acknowledges the importance of working together to raise awareness of child abuse, early childhood development, education, and generational trauma to ensure brighter futures for all children. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Goldsboro City Council does hereby proclaim April 2026 as Children and Families Month in recognition of Child Abuse Prevention Month and the Week of the Young Child, and urge all citizens to observe this month by dedicating themselves to improving the quality of life for all children and families. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the seal of the City of Goldsboro, this the 16th day of March 2026. And Madam Deputy Clerk, I believe we have folks to come forward and speak.
Yes, sir.
If those present would like to come forward. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. We just want to say a few things. Thank you for reading that for us. And we're trying to celebrate the Week of the Young Child and Child Abuse Prevention Month. And one of the things I just wanted to mention is that April is recognized as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and it reminds us that protecting our children is a shared responsibility for everybody in the community. So we do this event at Herman Park. It was very well attended the past couple of years to have children and families come. We run the train, and there's inexpensive concessions, but just a great time for families to get together. We do it from 4 to 6, so we would love to see some of you come out there with your families. And then there's just resources all around. We have tables set up so that people can share information with families about child abuse prevention and all the resources in our community, because there's a lot. So we thank you for your support.
And I know you.
Natalie said it all.
I'm sorry. Take one step forward. We'll get centered up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we will move to item 4.2. It is the Community College Month proclamation. Whereas community colleges play a vital role in expanding access to higher education, workforce training, and lifelong learning opportunities for individuals from all backgrounds. And whereas community colleges serve as engines of economic development by preparing a skilled workforce, supporting local business and industry, and strengthening communities through education and innovation. And whereas Wayne Community College has served the citizens of Goldsboro and Wayne County by providing high-quality educational programs, workforce training, and community partnerships that empower students to achieve their academic, career, and personal goals. And whereas Wayne Community College offers multiple pathways to success through associate degree programs, workforce and short-term training, dual enrollment opportunities for high school students, and partnerships with regional employers that support apprenticeships and career advancement. And whereas the faculty, staff, and administration of Wayne Community College demonstrate a strong commitment to student success, economic mobility, and community engagement. And whereas Community College Month is celebrated nationally each April to recognize the important role community colleges play in transforming lives, strengthening local economies, and expanding educational opportunities for future generations. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Goldsboro City Council does hereby proclaim April 2026 as Community College Month in the City of Goldsboro, and encourage all residents to recognize and celebrate the contributions of Wayne Community College, its students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community partners who work each day to strengthen our community through education. And witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the city of Goldsboro this, the 16th day of March 2026. And I see at least one representative from Wayne Community College. I see two representatives from Wayne Community College. And if y'all would like to come forward and address the council or the public, you're welcome to do so. Two high-ranking representatives from Wayne Community College.
I asked Renita to join me. She said only if I speak. So I drew the short straw. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. Thank you for recognizing April as Community College Month and for your continued support of Wayne Community College. At WCC, we see every day how education changes lives through both short-term training and curriculum degrees. Our students are high school students getting an early start on college, working adults learning new skills, and parents who are returning to school to build a better future for their families. Community colleges are truly about opportunity, meeting students where they are and helping them reach where they want to go. We are proud to serve this community and grateful for the partnership we share with the City of Goldsboro as we work together to strengthen our workforce and to support student success. Thank you.
I'll be back.
Understood. Less things for me to trip over. Always good to see you. Item 4.3 will bring back some fond memories for those of us that have been long-time Goldsboro residents. Derailabration Centennial Proclamation. Whereas in 1840, the completion of the Wilmington and Weldon Railroad established the rail line between Wilmington and Weldon as the longest continuous railroad in the world at that time, with Goldsboro Junction serving as a critical inland connection linking eastern North Carolina to national and international trade routes. And whereas railroad infrastructure once ran directly through the heart of downtown Goldsboro along Center Street, shaping traffic patterns, business locations, and daily life for residents and merchants alike. And whereas in April 1926, the citizens of Goldsboro undertook a bold and unified civic action to remove the railroad tracks from Center Street, an effort remembered as Derailabration, reflecting a decisive moment when the community acted collectively to adapt its built environment in service of safety, progress, and a changing city. And whereas the story of Derailabration has been carried forward for a century through both official records and enduring local folklore, forming an essential part of Goldsboro's shared civic memory and local identity. And whereas building upon this historic foundation, the state of North Carolina continues to study and plan expanded passenger rail service, including a proposed Raleigh to Wilmington corridor in which Goldsboro has been identified as a key and well-positioned intermediate community. And whereas the year 2026 marks the centennial of Derailabration, offering an opportunity to reflect on Goldsboro past, recognize the civic spirit that shaped its evolution, and reaffirm the values of cooperation and community that continue to define the city. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Goldsboro City Council does hereby proclaim April 2nd, 2026 as Derailabration Centennial Day in Goldsboro, and encourage its residents to recognize this moment in the city's history, honor the spirit of cooperation that made it possible, and appreciate the stories, both formal and folklore, that together shaped Goldsboro's civic identity. And witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the city of Goldsboro this the 16th day of March 2026. Now I do believe we have someone to come forward and speak on this one as well. I will encourage folks to maybe not get your own pitchforks and tear up infrastructure, but the spirits of the moment of seeing that there was something that simply had to be done, I think lives on in Goldsboro. And while we don't necessarily do it through destruction of things anymore, that passion certainly lives on. So, Mr. Knack, if you'd like to speak.
Mayor, Council, thank you very much. When I first moved back to Goldsboro about 4 years ago now, I took Jen Kuykendall's downtown walking tour, history tour, out of the museum. And it was one of the first stories I heard. And it just tickled me because, here we, in the dead of night, by order of the mayor, the people get up and quietly remove the railroad track. There's no witnesses. The newspaper doesn't report a thing on it. It just happened, I know there was a big celebration and street fairs and everything in the 90s and maybe right around the turn of the century. Good times. But I just couldn't stand to see this centennial anniversary roll on by without at least a whistle. So I thank you very much for the proclamation. I appreciate it. You don't think Sarah would, pass out drinks in front of the new TLC store?
The lovely and talented redhead named Sarah very likely could be convinced to do things along that nature.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Randy, you have that one. Okay. All right, we will now move to item 4.4, and this one will be read by Councilwoman Brandy Matthews.
Thank you, Mayor. If I can just take a moment to recognize the Wayne County Reentry Council members who are here, our executive director, our president, our vice president, and other executive committee members are here. So thank you for answering the call every day. I'm honored to read the Second Chance Month proclamation. Whereas more than 600,000 individuals return to their communities from incarceration across the United States each year, and thousands of North Carolinians return home annually seeking opportunities to rebuild their lives. And whereas in North Carolina alone, approximately 22,000 people return to their communities each year after incarceration, many facing significant barriers to employment, housing, education, and community support. And whereas research consistently shows that access to stable employment, safe housing, education, and supportive services significantly reduces recidivism and strengthens families, neighborhoods, and local economies. And whereas the state of North Carolina and communities across the nation recognize April as Second Chance Month, a time to raise awareness about the challenges faced by justice-involved individuals and to encourage communities to support successful reintegration. And whereas the Wayne County Reentry Council works collaboratively with local government, community organizations, employers, faith-based groups, educators, and service providers to create pathways for individuals returning from incarceration to successfully reintegrate into society. And whereas Wayne County continues to lead through collaborative efforts that bring together community partners to remove barriers, expand opportunities for returning citizens, and strengthen families and neighborhoods throughout our community. And whereas the City of Goldsboro is committed to supporting justice-involved individuals and the organization advocates and service providers who work tirelessly to ensure successful reentry, recognizing that second chances strengthen our workforce, our families, and the overall well-being of our community. And whereas recognizing Second Chance Month helps reduce stigma and reminds our community that everyone benefits when returning citizens are given the opportunity to work, contribute, and thrive. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City of Goldsboro hereby recognizes April 2026 as the Second Chance Month and encourages residents, businesses, community organizations, and faith leaders to support initiatives that promote successful reentry, reduce recidivism, and create meaningful second chances for individuals returning to our community. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the City of Goldsboro, North Carolina, this 16th day of March, 2026.
And would anyone like to come forward and speak?
Yes.
Hello again. Thank you, Council, for allowing us the opportunity to be here tonight and to recognize April as Second Chance Month. We appreciate what you allow us to do in the city of Goldsboro, whether it be the young man that has been living in Wayne County after he got out of jail for 3 years and just got a chance to have someone hold his hand and help him get his ID, or whether it be the young lady that was in prison for 16 years and worked with us for 2 years to get just a stable apartment to live. We are making a difference in Wayne County, and many of you on the council and many of the individuals in this room have been alongside us making a difference. Just last year in 2025, the Wayne County Reentry Council served 493 individuals and provided 2.5 services to each one of those individuals. We are making a difference. We believe in second chances, and we thank you for believing in second chances too. I would like to invite you to 2 major events for Second Chance Month. We are going to kick off April with our Community Resource Fair. It is our 4th Community Resource Fair. It will be held at 714 Simmons Street, which is the parking lot of Day Reporting Center behind our former health department. We want the community to come out and receive free resources that will help them, especially those individuals that have been justice involved or have been released from jail or prison and are transitioning. And then on April 16th, we have our Second Chance Town Hall, which will feature panel discussions from individuals with lived experiences in second chances. So that will be from 3 to 5 p.m. at Wayne County Public Library in the Gertrude Will Auditorium. And so we hope the council and the community will come out, and thank you again for believing in second chances. And if I could just have the council to please stand so you can see who they are. Thank you.
Council, I was reminded right before I walked across the little bridge that we had an item 4.5 to walk on. So Council, I would ask for a motion to amend the agenda to add item 4.5, which is the Vietnam Veterans Day proclamation.
So moved.
All right, motion has been made and properly seconded. All right. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we'll call the vote just by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes unanimously.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Vietnam Veterans Day proclamation. Whereas we honor the more than 3 million Americans who served in the Vietnam War and pay tribute to those who lost their lives, and we reaffirm our dedication to showing a generation of veterans the respect and support of a grateful nation. And whereas Americans from every corner of our nation reported for duty during the Vietnam War and we are grateful for their services and their sacrifices. And whereas thousands of service members returned home burdened by visible scars as well as invisible wounds of post-traumatic stress and Agent Orange exposure. And whereas we bear witness to the more than 58,000 names etched into 2 faces of black granite in our nation's capital, a lasting memorial to those who bore conflict's greatest cost. And whereas today we reaffirm one of our most fundamental obligations to show all who have worn the uniform of the United States the respect and dignity they deserve, and to honor their sacrifice by serving them as well as they served us. And whereas the citizens of the city of Goldsboro are grateful for the strength and service of our Vietnam veterans, and we honor their proud legacy with our deepest appreciation. And whereas the Wayne County Veterans and Patriots Coalition will be hosting a celebration to honor Vietnam veterans on March 28th, 2026 at the Wayne County Museum. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Goldsboro City Council does hereby proclaim March 29th, 2026 as Vietnam Veterans Day in the city of Goldsboro, and urge all citizens to observe this day with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities that commemorate the anniversary of the Vietnam War. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the city of Goldsboro this the 16th day of March 2026. And I believe that there was also someone to come forward. Yes, sir. Perfect.
Mayor, Council, I would like to say thank you for the proclamation, as well as invite y'all out for Saturday, the 28th of March. The ceremony will be at 10 o'clock, like you said, at the museum.
10 a.m. at the museum, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Been in the military too long, trying to do that.
No, I hear you. All right, everyone, as this is the second meeting of our month, and so everyone, I'm sure, has picked up on the trend. The public hearings for land use matters are generally handled the first meeting of the month. The second meeting of the month, we're able to roll directly into public comment period, consent agenda, and other more administrative matters. So with that, Madam Deputy Clerk, if you would please call up our first person to come speak during the public comment period. And as always, speakers are reminded to be civil and courteous in their language and presentations at all times. Speakers are asked to refrain from personal attacks and or threats directed towards any council member, mayor, staff, or other members of the public. And as always, vulgar, profane language or gestures cannot be tolerated. Just the reminder from the policy. And with that,
we have no speakers, sir.
Okay.
You made all that.
All right. Then we will move forward with our consent agenda. Mr. Livingston, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 5 items on the consent agenda. I'll just briefly list them out here. If there's any questions you can ask. We have the acceptance of grant funds, $250,000. That was money that was from Congressman Nichols' office that has gone through HUD for the demolition of Herman Park Center. We have operating budget amendments, various ones that some from this year and going back with some purchase rollover, some large utility projects. We have a resolution authorizing purchase of prior duty weapons by Goldsboro police officers. They still have to purchase them at a market rate surplus price. Department monthly reports and the approval of minutes by the Goldsboro City Council, our retreat minutes from February 12th and 13th. I'll ask for one single motion unless there's a need to discuss any of those items individually.
Council, are there any remaining questions or concerns on consent agenda items? Hearing none, but entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. If everyone is able, we will vote electronically and give a few moments for votes to be tallied. Tell me when.
Yes, sir.
All votes tallied?
All votes tallied, 6-1.
6-1? All right.
Yes, sir.
With that, motion passes, and the consent agenda is approved as presented. All right, we will move to item 7.1, Chapter 91, Animals is a Code of Ordinances adjustment. Mr. Livingston, if you would please deliver any brief, and then I believe we'll have Chief West come forward.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a previous discussion before trying to clear up some language within our animal ordinance, and I'll ask Chief to go up and give the brief.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Not a whole lot from the last time I met you on the animal ordinance. Nothing's really changed. Basically, the change was clarifying old antiquated language from the 60s and 70s. Change of definition prior to this amendment or this change request. Very difficult for officers to enforce vicious animal part of the ordinance. The actual classification at that time was the animal has to actually bite someone, and we had calls for service to where an animal would display a kind of violent or vicious behavior but didn't actually do a bite, and there was just nothing we can do, and we've had cases that have lasted probably over a year of trying to resolve an issue. So went in there and changed it. The only other change that comes to mind is prior to this change, there was a limit to 3 dogs inside the city limits, and this amendments to 4 dog inside the city limits. That mirrors what the county ordinance is, and also several other ordinances in the state of North Carolina. It kind of puts us a little bit more consistent with other municipalities. But other than that, that's about all I have. Any questions?
Council, I know this one has been sitting on the agenda as various comments and questions have been coming and going. Are there any remaining questions or debate to be had on this ordinance?
I do have.
Yes, sir. Please.
On the portion of the ordinance that speaks of tethering, it says that it doesn't give specifically like how many hours per 24 hours the dog can be or pet could be tethered outside, or how long, how heavy the chain versus the body weight. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I think that our ordinance was written or adopted to look out for the human, but I don't see a lot in there to look out for the actual pet. You know, about housing outside, having adequate shelter, what's the degrees, 40 degrees, or should it be 80, 90 degrees, you know, what's adequate shelter? Those type of things I think should be in our ordinance as well.
Yeah, I know the previous ordinance, I don't know why this one didn't transfer over, but I know the previous ordinance for tethering, you couldn't tether an animal no more than 2 hours in a total of 2 hours within a 24-hour period. So I can look at that to see if we can pick that back up, and then again, some of the conditions that animals be kept in should certainly be looked at.
Chief, what was the citation for that particular piece of it? I want to say that was one that was not up for edit. It was 19 dot something, but I don't believe that was edited, and I think the only sections that you've presented to us are sections that actually have red line edits.
19, I don't know the exact citation for it, but I know it was in, tethering was in 91.25.
And this amendment does not change anything in 91.25.
Okay.
And so that would be why it's not on here. Okay. But I do think that it would be good to certainly circulate everything related to this chapter. Okay. Once these particular pieces are changed, to the councilman's point, that should be something the public is made acutely aware of, and then council is made aware of so that we can enforce our rules.
Okay.
Councilman White, would that be acceptable to you?
That's fine as long as we address, you know, the tethering piece, and then also I will say that that the number of dogs are pets, or I'm gonna say dogs because that's what we addressed in here. Dogs. I did do a little research, and I saw where we got the number from because it does say 3 to 5, whatever. But there are some municipalities who specify 3 dogs kept outside versus, you know, dogs, because I think that's the nuisance. The nuisance are the ones that are kept outside instead of the ones that are kept on the inside. And I just want us to clarify that piece of it. Is it just we're only gonna have 4 dogs total, or are we gonna specify? Because I did like that piece, and I think it was in Reed Bills or something. I can't remember, but it specified dogs kept outside. versus they didn't talk about the ones inside because we don't know how many they got on the inside. Okay. But they did specify the ones outside.
Councilman, is it possible, and so that you're specifically, I'm thinking, talking about 9116, and in that one piece being able to add language about the distinction between inside and outside, which again feels quite logical. Each of these adjustments could be made leaving 9116 alone, or we could adopt 9116 as part of this as is currently proposed, and then y'all could have a look at Reedsville or any other municipality, then come back with a subsequent change as well, if we believe that the changes here are workable, even if we want to add the indoor-outdoor distinction to it as well. I completely understand that. I actually quite like it.
So you're saying we can go ahead and vote on it as is, and then address that?
Well, what's here in front of us is, and I appreciate Chief doing it this way, it is a bulk revision, right? So we are making adjustments. We're not deleting anything that's on the books that's not here. We're adjusting 9115, 9116, 17, 18. You get the idea. So if we needed to, we could even come back and say we're only interested in adopting the language of 91, 19, 20. You get the idea. We could piecemeal it out. But fortunately, Chief was presenting it to us in one bulk adjustment, and that allows it to flow and allows everyone to kind of see how it all interplays.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if we could go ahead and get what we've got across the line and then work on adjustments. As much issue as there's been in my district with these issues.
Well, I really like all the suggestions that Councilman White entered into the conversation. I think that's something that we really need to look at. So if we do that and then come back and be more specific, how would you feel, Councilman White, if we did that?
I'm fine with it. I just want us to address it.
So then, Council, how do we feel about moving forward with all amendments proposed, and then we will table the discussion on 9116 to our next meeting to allow for any potential revisions there, but then that'll still allow us to move 15, 17, 18, all of the other ones through, and 16 again as it's currently written, it's just a one-liner that says there should be no more than 3. But I think there's certainly the motivation to update that language so we can get it back very quickly. Does anyone have any heartburn with that? No? All right. So then with that, Council, I would entertain a motion to adopt all changes presented with the exception of 9116. And attorney, please make sure I'm wording this correctly. To accept all changes with the exception of 9116 and table the amendment to 9116 until a future meeting when we're able to get it proposed. It's in 2 parts there, but if everyone's okay with it, we'll do it. All right, I would entertain that motion.
So moved.
All right, motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion has been made and properly seconded to adopt all proposed amendments with the exception of those presented for 9116, and to table 9116 to a future meeting. Okay. All right. And so now we will vote. Is there any further debate? Hearing none, we'll vote electronically if possible. All right, all votes having been tallied, motion passes 7-0. Ordinance stands revised. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Fantastic work. And if you would please, Councilman White, Chief, y'all have a conversation about 9116, and let's see if we can get that one resolved, even if it's a consent agenda matter. Let's see if we can get that one resolved April or first meeting in May. All right. Thank y'all. All right, now we will move to new business. Mr. Livingston, if you would please walk us through the next 3.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next we have a cost-sharing agreement with the Hawthorne Trail Development and the City of Goldsboro to do a looping project to help with the pressure for the Mimosa area and that whole area in there. And I'll have Jonathan give the brief on more of the details of that. This was in association with their approved special use permit.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Sorry, I did put together some slides, and it's not really going right now, so I think he's going to put them up. But
we'll give you. See, the IT does have them.
Yeah, IT's got the slides. There we go.
Found them.
All right. So again, we got this water. What we're calling is a cost share agreement between us and the development Hawthorne Trail. The agreement has been vetted by their legal team, and they are good with it. Everything's good on their end. So we're just, I was hoping to have a signed agreement, but they just didn't get it back to me. They're a little slow sometimes about getting with me. But I just kind of wanted to give you a few highlights from the agreement. So this agreement is to install 1,000 feet of water main along Collarbest Road. There's 2 dead-end 12-inch lines right there at Collarbest and Glenda's Point Drive, I think it is. And, hooking these 2 lines together will increase water pressure, improve fire flows, and improve the quality of water. And again, so this is a 60-40 split, and I'll show you the 60-40 in just a minute. I got the map in here as well for the project area. We got timelines. So we're anticipating to start April the 13th, and the anticipated end date is May the 4th. Now, those are contingent upon we got to get permits from Public Water Supply. We got to get a water extension permit, and there's a 12-week turnaround time on that. We haven't heard anything from them yet, so those dates are kind of contingent upon when we get released on that permit. And the anticipated cost is $170,277.64. One other thing that I didn't mention was this project is being completed in-house by our public utility staff. They felt confident that they could do it, and I think in the area they're going to be able to work behind the ditch, so it shouldn't cause any traffic issues along Collarbest or anything. And then here is the there we go. I didn't mean to do that. Can you go back one to the map? There you go. Sorry. So this is the map. So this line right here is the property line for the development, and this right here is all the development, and it goes out from here all the way up to New Hope Road. So this is the property line right here. So the developer, to be able to tie into the water line, they were going to have to extend it anyway. And then we were going to come in and lay this last 400 feet. So their development has been hung up. They were going to originally do townhomes. They didn't have the backing for the townhomes, so they've switched to single family homes. And currently they're undergoing a study. There's a lot of wetlands back there behind it. You got Stony Creek that runs through there. So they're doing a habitat study. There's some endangered species, mussel or something.
Wedge mussel.
Yeah, back in there. So they're doing that study to see if it'll work and if the state will allow them to build. So I don't know. They're going through that, jumping through those hoops right now. I don't foresee an issue. They don't really foresee an issue, but you never know when you're dealing with those state agencies, DEQ and those folks. So, but anyway, we wanted to speed up the process, so we're going to do it in-house, and we're going to lay the entire 1,000 feet run, and then they're going to reimburse us for this 600 and something feet right here. That's where the 60-40 split's coming in. And I mean, that's pretty much it. We're tying in right here is a dead end valve, and then right here is a dead end valve, and then we're going to just lay that leg, and we're going to lay it behind the ditch. So again, shouldn't be obstructing any flow or anything.
So I want to be real clear, the developer is still on the hook for the portion of this that they would have had to do anyway.
Correct. They are going to reimburse us that 60%, which is 60% of the $170,000.
Okay. And then this allows us to go ahead and connect two spots that we've been saying for years need
Right.
to be connected to
Correct.
resolve some lower pressure issues.
That's right. That's right.
And if this particular developer does not get a project across the line, do we have a legal mechanism to require whoever it is in the future that comes over to it to still abide by this agreement or?
So I did run that by Ron, and I'll let Ron speak, but I don't think there was no way to tie it,
Not
legally.
to bind a future developer to this agreement because they're not a party to this agreement.
So I
You
did
just make it a
Making
condition.
It wasn't part of the special use permit, as far as that goes, and so because it wasn't tied to that, you don't have any condition that somebody else is going to have to accept.
Could we tie it to a future special use permit? I realize that
Look
gets
into that
fuzzy.
at some other point.
Yeah.
Since it didn't come up at this point, I didn't research that.
Okay.
But I guess I have a question as well too, though, with the endangered species piece of it, with the possibility of some habitat of some species back there. So I would like what the mayor just asked, Ron, going forward, if they can't get this across the line and for some reason we have to relocate or have that species relocated or something, I don't know how they would do that. You know what I'm saying? But are we on the hook for the entire thing? That's I would
So
like.
the answer is yes, but it's a public works project, and if they don't come, we will be. Conceivably, you could put it as a condition of a future special use permit, but that might be a little bit harder to do if we've already got it done, because then it's something we've done. But we're really doing this for the benefit of the community because it is a situation, even if this development weren't coming in here, we'd still be talking about this project. But I do feel like the chances are pretty good that the development will occur. Dealing with the spiny wedge mussel is pretty commonplace throughout the area. When you're dealing with any kind of wetlands, you're going to have to mitigate for that. So what it means is they'll probably have to set aside a little bit more open space within the development.
Okay, and then my next concern. Did you have? I'm sorry. I
Go ahead. You have the floor. Go ahead.
But my next question is, I spoke with Jonathan, and he spoke of something going on Wayne Memorial Drive,
Right.
that needs to be fixed as well, which also is a portion of why the pressure is not good in that
Yeah,
neighborhood.
I'm familiar with that.
So
That's
I just want everybody to know that
Yeah.
just because we tie this loop doesn't mean we're gonna give optimum pressure until we get the other thing
Not
fixed.
currently. I
Right.
took that. I brought that to council, the emergency stuff, a couple of weeks ago. But I did want to mention one thing, just kind of piggybacking off of Matt. So we did have a line item in our budget this year. It was $500 and something thousand to do this project. We were going to hire a contractor, but so we already had the funds set aside in the utility fund for this year to do it. But our public utilities team stepped up and said they could do it internally, and that's why you see that price at $170,000.
But I do. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your question. And then
So I did speak with him also about that power booster pump that we had been in the budget for a while.
Yeah.
That kind of fell off. And he assured me that we didn't need it, but I do want to make sure that we can get the thing on Memorial Drive fixed, Wayne Memorial Drive fixed, so that if not, we can revisit the power booster pumps for those constituents that live in those neighborhoods.
Okay.
Jonathan, do you mind giving an update on those repairs at the Wayne Memorial, so that
so
while we're talking about that?
Yeah, I mean, we really don't know much right now. I know that was part of in the consent agenda, the budget ordinance. I think Catherine had that as part of her budget ordinance in there for this project. So now we can set up the PO, we can get ready to get go. But I know the contractor has been working on getting supplies and getting his materials in. It's just a matter of scheduling the work. I am meeting him Thursday at another site. He was doing our McCall's pump station emergency repair. So Thursday I should be able to get a better explanation from him when they plan on starting.
Councilman Williams.
Thank you.
My question was answered in Jonathan's further comments, so I'm good.
Ultimately, this is a piece of pipe that we wanted in the ground anyway.
That's right.
So I'm fine with that. I just want to be able to clearly explain that we're doing it because we're tired of waiting.
Right.
But ultimately, this is not intended to be any sort of giveaway to anybody.
Correct.
It's and we do fully intend to be able to recoup any portion that the developer would have done.
That's right.
But either way, it's a piece of pipe that we wanted in the ground. So.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and it's a win for the constituents.
Yeah, that's right.
To improve their water pressure.
It will.
Something that they wanted for a while.
All right. So with that, item 8.1. Are there any further comments or questions for staff? All right. Item 8.1. I believe there is a resolution in the packet to authorize the, if I'm not mistaken, execution of a contract and the funds, right? Is that right? All right. So, council members, there's item 8.1, resolution in the packet. Would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to adopt the resolution as presented for item 8.1. We will. Is there any further debate? Hearing none, we'll vote electronically if possible. All right. All votes having been tallied, motion passes unanimously. Resolution is adopted. Jonathan,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And the team that's actually going to be doing the work and stepping up to do it in-house, please make sure they understand we appreciate what they're doing.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Item 8.2, Mr. Livingston, anything from you, or do I go directly to Mr. Gerard?
We have Mr. Gerard here. I did give an update in this Crossroads, and obviously working closely with Friends of Seymour, so to kind of give an idea of what's been going on, and hopefully Mr. Gerard can also give us some updates as well.
Good evening to the mayor and the council members. How was everybody? Good. I couldn't help but have some wet memories of Derailabration when you were reading the resolution, but I think it was a former and good friend, councilman at the time, Chuck Allen, and I agreed somehow to sit in the Duncan booth during the Derailabration, and I thought for sure he would get more balls thrown at him than me, but it was a very close, it was a tie maybe, but we had good times, and those were good days when we had the vendors and the street closed, and but yeah, I thought for sure I was going to win on that one, but I didn't. So, but anyways, I'm glad to be here. I think last time I saw you was before the holidays. I would have wished you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays if I'd have known it was going to be so long, but anyways, I'm glad to be back. In terms of what the Friends of Seymour and the Crossroads are doing, I guess we're sort of still regrouping from the FY25 spend. We're still waiting for a little bit to come out of that. Those things will occur, but right now they're doing some authorizations and appropriation bills or committee language for FY27. And I'm going to go through a couple of things that are important for a number of reasons, but as you know, we'll wait for the president's FY27 budget to come out, which will probably be late April, could be later with these opening and closings of the government. But since the approved NDAA from FY26 going back, there's been really no new language that we've heard or shared in regards to the F-15Es from the Air Force. So the last time, and I'll go ahead and try to remind you that it was from General Tabor, we heard back in the fall that the military had some plans to move aircraft from Mountain Home to Lake and Heath, and from Mountain Home to Seymour Johnson, the various 220s, and also moving those aircraft from Lake and Heath to Seymour as well. And then what's also would be filled in would be F-16s, the training. So there's been a lot of movement in the plan. None of that, of course, has occurred, or probably would not even have occurred had we not been in conflict in Iran. But the plan is sort of that right now, is to move aircraft around, and to probably we would see, I think I mentioned last time I was here, maybe a net loss of 4 aircraft. Now, unfortunately, as you know, in the last few days, we believe to have lost maybe a couple of aircraft or more, 3. And I don't know, as we move through this stuff, we talk about F-15Es and the possibly with Boeing purchasing more, speeding up the purchase rate, the production rate, and all that stuff. A lot of variables with that. I think there's a lot of, are we going to we're at mercy to the budgets of future administrations. We are, is it possible to increase the manufacturing? Maybe the purchase you could, but could you increase the manufacturing of more aircraft? That's to be discussed. And then nothing has been really publicly confirmed by the Air Force. So there's a lot of things going on about the new F-15EXs that we would certainly like to have more confidence in than we do currently. But I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about where we are in the current state in regards to Seymour Johnson and the conflict with Iran. Henry Smith and a number of folks in our community have for a number of years, I know I can go back to some of those folks 30 years, have spent their time coming before you and the commissioners and talking about what we need to do for increasing our mission, saving our mission. I think I was here last time talking about one of the things we were really pushing for was maintenance dollars, because remember how it was the funky way they calculated those dollars. And we always hope and pray that we never have to use the training that these folks go through every day. I mean, when they're flying out over Wilbur's, it's not to see if they're cooking pigs or not. I mean, it's training. They've been out somewhere to do something. And I'm just gonna remind everybody right now, and not that the council members need to be reminded, but maybe people at home, and maybe it doesn't hurt for some of us to be reminded, that this community does not look at the base. We talk a lot about $1 billion investment and a hurt to our community if they left. I'm not sure that's really what we're out here doing. I think we're doing it for the men and women that are serving, that are part of our community, that go to church with you, that are your neighbor, that you eat dinner with, that cut the grass across the street, or whatever it is. I think that's why we do it. I don't think that we are just completely looking at this as a dollar investment, what it would mean to our community if they left. I know that's important, but I don't think that's what we do. I think what we do is we have a military installation in our community. And so it's our responsibility to support that. I mean, it's our responsibility, and I know that the reason we have these organizations like Military Affairs and the Friends of Seymour and the support from the city and from the county is because there are other communities that are fighting for those things as well, and they're fighting for their communities. And so I'm not here to really give you a big update because there's not been much to give you, but I think it's important to kind of stop and reflect on those lives that are out there that are defending our country. And so we want to do our part in this community to do everything we can to make sure that they have the tools and the things they need. And so that's what I'll leave you with tonight, is just a little bit of sermon from Ken Gerard. But maybe it was the right time. I don't know.
It's certainly a good point in council. Before I open it up for questions, Ken, are you at all prepared to be able to speak to a little bit about the successes that we did get? I mean, we've talked exclusively about jets, but the small arms.
Well, we have the dollars. We have the dollars for construction for the
for the small arms range, the child
and I believe
center. And I do want to make it known that that work has been successful in cooperation with the governor's office, the Secretary of Veterans and Military Affairs, those departments. It has certainly been a much broader net obviously our engagement with Crossroads is very narrowly tailored, but the work of this community has been much broader.
And they did include that in their language in both the House and the Senate Armed Services Committee reports. So, and yes, and I'm sorry, we might have touched on that a little bit when I was here last time, but it's nice, Mayor, to remind everybody again. But no, those the brick and mortar dollars were huge, probably the biggest that our community has seen on the base since they redid a lot of the base housing, which we still need more of that. But you jump one hurdle and you get ready to jump the next one. And housing is certainly a need, both on the base and off the base.
Well, the goal is to continue having those battles.
Right, right.
Council comments, questions?
Just a quick question. One, I'd like to thank you for what you're doing. We do see the results. My next thing is dorms for the installation.
Right.
I know we talk about housing a lot and on and off post, but I do think we need to start looking at dorms for Seymour Johnson.
Right.
So those junior enlisted don't have to move out on the economy as fast as they are right now, cycling through the dorms, because the dorms are few and in between, and some of them are outdated as well to their standards.
Sure.
To the Army standards, that's the Taj Mahal, but
Right, yeah.
Well, and I will, after you and I met, I did go back and share some of the ideas that, some other bases, some other installations are using a developer-driven model to handle some of that. So the Crossroads, and to investigate into that and see where we can do that. So that's part of that next hurdle.
Okay, no doubt.
And to the councilman's point, that's been an ongoing conversation between myself and the colonel over the mission support group of how can we look at what different bases have done to be able to leverage federal land with private dollars, and then be able to be a slate of however many dorms that could be 60% reserved for Air Force, 40% for general civilian, because I think there is certainly a market for some one-bedroom style apartments and some flats. And right now, it doesn't make economic sense for a general builder to build that. And so there's got to be some kind of little twist there to do it. And so I really do think that itself will hit and resonate and probably land some fruit.
Well, that ground lease process way of doing these things, and other venues, like at a university where they build a new indoor practice facility or something, it's usually done by a private group, the Wolfpack Club, Rams Club, East Carolina, Pirate Club or anything. I want to make sure I catch all the same, all the schools.
You're going to offend at least.
Well, I probably offended people when I got up this morning, but that's okay. But my point in all that is there are ways to do that where developers can invest and do those things, pretty much like the agreement you have in the park. Over at Bryan Park now. Right. So anyways, but I did share that information.
Council, any other comments, questions, concerns? As always, you have contact information from Mr. Gerard. If there are specific questions you don't quite know how to frame, which I certainly find myself in that context, certain times, reach out to him. If nothing else, we'll allow Mr. Gerard to head back and get out of the spotlight.
Thank you.
To the extent you want to.
No, I can hang around. No. Thank y'all. Thank you.
All right, good night. Thank you. All right, Mr. Livingston, if you would please deliver a brief on item 8.3.
Okay, thank you. We have the request from Dillard Alumni. Are they here? I don't know. They're here. And just a brief update on that. We have been getting most of the information as we need from them. For our reporting purposes, and so I think they've got a lot of good things in here that they're doing for the community that they'll be reporting on tonight.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Council. It's a pleasure to be before you guys again. It's been a busy year for us at Dillard Goldsboro Alumni and Friends, so I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about the things that we've done with the funds you've given us previously. Just don't want to come in and ask for more money. Really wanted you guys to see for yourselves some of the things that we've been doing in the community, and to know that the city's money and the taxpayers' money is going to good use. So I just want to briefly tell about who we are. Of course, you guys know we're Dillard Goldsboro Alumni and Friends, incorporated in 1956. Missions centered on scholarship, fellowship, and service. That is the heart of everything we do. And currently, we're supporting youth development programs, leadership opportunities, and community engagements. And we operate on 801 East Poplar Street. Our building is of use to nonprofit organizations for free, community events and things of that nature. We do not charge other nonprofits to use our facility. So why does this matter to the city of Goldsboro? Number one, provides direct services to underserved families, invests in youth leadership and educational success, strengthens neighborhood pride and safety, supports collaborative partnerships with local institutions, and lastly, creates visible community impact through volunteer services. So what did we do with the money from last year? We had a summer lunch program that lasted through the month of July, where we addressed senior citizen and youth food insecurity. We hosted a back-to-school community event serving over 113 students. And what was different about that, instead of collecting book bags and notebooks and pens, we actually did a hygiene product drive. We thought it was important to provide those kids with body wash, with deodorant, with feminine hygiene products. Because it's not just about the book bag that you bring to school. It's about the self-confidence that you have when you step outside those doors. We hosted a community Christmas event in partnership with Lincoln Homes community across the street, where we gave away gifts and games and prizes to over 83 children and 13 different families. We also partnered with UNC Health Wayne to provide a community health fair, again, free of charge to everyone in the community. We did diabetes screening, blood pressure screenings, and offered a nutritious lunch for everyone who attended. These programs serve hundreds of residents in underserved communities annually, and it's our intention to continue those programs. Just wanted to show you some things. Of course, that's yours truly as Santa. I don't think I quite needed the beard, but just wanted to show you the impact that those funds had. It's not just about coming and asking for money. It's about the smile on this young man's face. That was in itself worth every penny that the city gave to us. So just wanted to go through a couple things and show you our work in action. We're not just about coming up here and giving lip service. We really do take those funds and reinvest those funds in our communities. This was the back to school event. As you can see, we had a gaming truck and just offered a safe space for kids to come and be kids. We know in surrounding communities, there's desperate situations, there's violence. So we really wanted to make sure that we created a space where those kids could come and be kids again. We have some of our hometown heroes that came and spoke to some of the young men, and we really tried to engage with every young person there to make sure that we made a difference in their lives. And thankfully, Councilman White was there on hand to assist us with that, to provide some mentoring services to some of those young men as well. There's some pictures from our summer feeding program and our back to school event. Again, it's all about getting the community together and letting kids be kids and letting these families know that we are there for them and we're there to support them in any way we can. Again, just a synopsis, the summer food program, the back to school event, the holiday Christmas event, the health fair. These were all things that we did with funds that were given to us last year from the city of Goldsboro. We certainly appreciate that, and we look forward to doing more in the community. The $10,000 investment from this past fiscal year, we've Things have changed with the organization. So the request that we had from last year, we want to slightly modify what we've done, what we are going to do with those funds. We have not officially received any of those funds yet, because we did not have the need for them at the time. So we have submitted all those invoices and caught up. So we'll just need to submit our last invoice. However, what I presented to you last year, things on the ground have changed with Dillard Goldsboro Alumni and Friends. So we're coming to the council, number one, with your blessing to somewhat amend on how we're going to spend that money. So whenever we bring back those receipts, you guys can see what the new request was and how we indeed spent that money. Number one, a neighborhood revitalization project. I don't know, hopefully you have been on Poplar Street. You were seeing that one of our buildings has been demolished. That was a major thing for this organization. It was a safety issue for everyone who stepped on campus. So we did the work and funded that ourselves. It was over $200,000 investment in our organization that we made, and luckily we did not have to ask any outside source for a dime of that money. However, the building is completely down. We're in the process of sealing everything back up and leveling the ground. So we would like to use some of the fiscal year 25 money to complete the rest of that project, just to make the grounds a little bit more if you will, visibly pleasing to the neighborhood and really add some beautification to the Webtown community. Next is we want the city to invest in our youth at Goldsboro High School. We do want to re-implement the use of those funds for 2 scholarships to be given to Goldsboro High School students, specifically majoring in political science or public administration. The way our donor program works, every donor gets to identify the type of student they want to get the money, what type of university or college they're going to, what type of major. So we would like to put that back in the council's hands to develop that criteria for 2 $1,500 scholarships. And lastly, again, continuing with the remainder of the $10,000 in our community outreach and activities, our summer lunch program, preparing for our Christmas event with the Housing Authority, and also our back to school event. So again, I wanted to repurpose the money that we asked for last year, since we haven't actually spent any of that money, and clearly state what those initiatives would be and how they would be a benefit to the overall community. Expected community outcomes. Again, restore and stabilize community property, improve neighborhood safety and appearance, 2 local students being supported through the scholarship program, and preparation for initiatives that will serve over 200 plus residents in the surrounding communities, and also strengthen the partnership between Dillard Goldsboro alumni in the city of Goldsboro. So I definitely want to thank you for your time. The formal request for this year, for fiscal year 27, would be another $10,000, again, to continue those community outreach programs, to continue to give back to our neighbors in the Lincoln Homes community and the surrounding areas, and then also continue to invest back in the property at 801 East Poplar Street in order that it can be used put to good use in the community, and we can continue to offer that building at no charge to local organizations who may need to use it at some time. In addition, we also have our 71st annual homecoming coming up in another couple of weeks. Our theme this year is rooted in legacy, rising in excellence. So we are officially asking for the city council to approve the parade waiver of $400 as well. So I thank you guys for your time, and I definitely would entertain any questions.
All right, so council, I think there are 3 specific, what was it? I think there's 3 specific motions that we'll probably have to work through this just logistically, procedurally. Before we get into the semantics of parliamentary procedure, Comments, questions from the council for Mr. Cole? Yes, sir.
So if I'm not mistaken, you did say that you didn't receive. So it's a.
So we have not recorded. We have not sent the invoice.
It's a reimbursement type deal that we got set up with Dillard Alumni.
So it was an advance funding. That's what we discussed with Ms. Gwynn. So it's an advance funding initiative. So we actually have to. She told us we have to invoice the city of Goldsboro every quarter, $2,600, and we just have not submitted those invoices as of yet for fiscal year 26.
So just for clarity, so that means Dillard Alumni pays for a service out of your pocket, and then you send the receipts to the city, and we give you that money back.
So it's my understanding that last year that was changed, and I do believe that you were the one who initiated that. That we did receive the advance funding so that we would not have to pay in advance and be reimbursed for anything with receipts.
Okay, so all we doing is, Mr. Mayor, is you guys are just checking that you use this money out of the money that we already allotted for you.
I
apologize for asking questions. I just want to make sure that that's clear.
So it's to explain what we did with the $13,000 from fiscal year 25. To let you know that we are repurposing the request from last year, for yet we have not received that money because we have not formally requested those funds as of yet, and then to request the $10,000 for fiscal year 27.
Okay, I think I'm.
Yeah, they're completely eligible for the drawdowns. It's not on a reimbursement basis. It's purely just hasn't happened yet.
Yes, it just hasn't.
Right, there's not any, best of my knowledge, there's not any baggage or anything that's an issue.
No,
hasn't
there's
happened
not.
yet.
I've got text from Catherine on this. We talked about it today.
Yeah.
Just a couple things and check the boxes. We're good.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Just for the people that are listening at home, so if there's anyone that wants to donate to your community outreach events that you hold for the children,
yes,
can you just state how people would get in touch with you to be able to do
so
that,
sure.
please?
So usually whenever we have those type things, we usually do advertise them on our website as well as social media with a call to action for people to donate items, donate their time. I think volunteerism is even more important than tangible items. So we usually do promote that on social media and ask for people if they would like to sign up to be a volunteer or sign up to donate a particular item, whether it be a Christmas gift or a hygiene product. We'll have designated times and days where you can come and drop those items off to the building. So that is to the public. We certainly can do a better job with making that a more widespread appeal, so that more people see that information and will be able to donate appropriately.
And I wasn't saying that it wasn't already. I was just saying, like, for people at home that are listening or may look at the video later, I personally think it's an excellent idea of what you said you guys did for the children with the hygiene products, because there's a lot of people that give out book sacks and school supplies, but I do agree. I think it's important for a child to go to school and be proud and not ashamed.
Agreed, absolutely.
So thank you.
Yes, yes, ma'am, and then yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to thank you for all that you do. You do an excellent job, and this city appreciates all that Dillard does.
Appreciate that.
And thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I echo those same sentiments. It's
Appreciate that, sir.
Very good work and much appreciated and needed. Is there, since they're having to make the request for the parade, isn't that a legacy event that shouldn't have to be made?
If it's the way that we did the ordinance, if it's Center Street, it always has to come to us.
It is a legacy event, but because of the closing of Center Street, that's the one thing that triggers it to come up to y'all. But then they're also asking again for the waiver, and I'm just wondering if we can't get to the point where they don't feel like they have to do that, but since they're every time, if we're going to make it a city-sponsored event.
Well, and you're coming up to promote the event anyway.
Yeah. Okay. That's one of the things you need to vote on, along with the amount and along with the parade, I guess. Closing the streets, legacy.
So procedurally, what I think I have this broken down to is a motion to, and Ron, help me with this. Do we need to do some sort of motion to acknowledge the purposes for the FY 25-26 dollars that were stated here, and just simply so Catherine doesn't have any questions at all, which I don't think she does. Y'all have already talked about all of this. Acknowledge that those are stated for a public purpose and approved to be used for FY 25-26 funds? Or are we good there?
I don't think you need that.
I don't think so either, but I would ask Catherine. She's the finance director, and I don't get into all the financial details of those kind of things. I think he can text her and ask her that question.
She's listening now. I'll just wait for her. But I think that, if you approve this amount, it's understood what it's for.
It's for a public purpose.
Yeah.
Well, it's already been approved, though. FY 25-26 has already been approved.
We just wanted to be transparent.
You're just being transparent.
And letting you know that we were repurposing the money. It's still a similar as what we stated last year, just a slightly different use, but still for our community use.
I think the evidence from the speech is it's still for a public purpose.
Absolutely.
It's what it's got to be used for, which is part of the funding that's being given anyway. So I don't think that has to be done, but we'll let Catherine answer that.
Well, her answer, she's okay with FY 26 activities. They do serve a public purpose, and it's okay with transferring them around.
Okay. So we're good on that one. So that piece, that particular procedural item, I can scratch off. We're good on that? All right. So FY, the funds in the current budget year that you're already, have already been allocated to you, you can draw them down whenever but you already knew that. But I do appreciate you wanting to bring this back to council and saying, hey, this is how we're using these. I think that's good stuff. FY 26-27, and I know it'll have to be a future resolution, but for the sake of you being able to prepare a manager's budget, is it council's intent to include another $10,000 as a line item for Goldsboro Dillard Alumni and Friends in next year's budget? I presume yes.
Yes.
Mr. Livingston, would you like a motion to?
I don't feel like I need a motion there.
It'll be approved in the budget. You've already had consensus here.
I don't, yes.
Okay.
As long as you guys don't change your mind.
All right, fair enough. And then the one that would definitely need is the parade waiver.
Yes.
Right. So I would entertain
and the street closure. So there's two items there: street closure and the parade waiver as a city sported event.
All right, and you'll still have to do the application, all that other.
Well, the application has been submitted. I haven't heard back from the officer yet. He wasn't in the office when I turned it in, but it has been submitted.
All right. Then with that, Mr. Lawrence, tell me if I'm wording this incorrectly, would entertain a motion to waive parade fees related to Goldsboro Dillard Alumni and Friends 71st Annual Homecoming as a sponsorship for
city-sponsored event.
As a city-sponsored event.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion is made and properly seconded to, I'm going to amend that slightly, to approve the street closure and the waiver of fees.
Yeah.
So
moved.
Moved, seconded. And that's to approve the street closure and the fee waiver. And I realize that we'll probably have to redo this on a consent agenda or something like that whenever we have the application sitting here in front of us. But at least then I feel comfortable with it being a consent agenda item. So motions have made, properly seconded. Is there any further debate? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. Mrs. Reese, are you okay with a show of hands on this one? Or is it already popped up?
It's already popped up.
Oh, you're just waiting for me. There you go. I just discovered that e-vote button that if I don't click it in time and it goes away, you can pull that back up there. Are votes tallying for you?
Okay, mine didn't pop up.
Would you just state your vote for the record?
Yes.
All right. So all votes haven't been cast and tallied. There you go. Motion passes unanimously. The parade waiver and street closure is approved. When we get the formal application in front of us, it'll probably be a consent agenda item. That'll be one less thing for you to travel for. Now, Mr. Livingston, we're good with 25-26 funds. You have direction for your 26-27 budget. We have a number. I think we're good.
Okay. All right. And officially, unofficially, inviting you guys to participate in the parade. You will be getting a formal email, but this year is a parade of champions. So definitely want to highlight some of the great things that have happened at Goldsboro High School in the last couple of weeks and months. So definitely an unofficial invitation, but you will be receiving a formal invitation shortly. Thank you for your time.
Sir.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes the stated items on this evening's agenda. With that, we'll move to Section 9, our City Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple items. We're knee-deep in budget season and had some meetings with the Budget Committee. Those have gone very well, getting some direction from them. And we're going to be setting up meetings with the department heads on reviewing their budgets. We're working on revenue estimates, so that's going along as planned. Also what we're coming up with, and this was a recommendation from the citizen survey, and we discussed it at the retreat, we're working on what our public communications team will look like. That's coming out of the manager's office under the leadership of LaToya, with several other departments as well that have responsibility towards marketing and public communications, but we're trying to consolidate that. We have a Fremont Eureka Goldsboro meeting on the 19th. So that's this week, and WCDA board meeting on the 25th. That's their monthly meetings. We also have an economic development meeting with myself and Chris Boyett and Chip, and also Kelly Ann, who will be assisting from the manager's office on economic development issues. Our website is still under construction. I estimate we're about 30 days out on that. We have a merger meeting on March the 24th. That location is to be determined, but it's at 1 p.m. So a lot of those, thank you to the board for the Eureka did approve there. We have the signed agreement with Eureka now. And last but not least, I did want to mention that I appreciate the prayers and support for my stepfather, really as a father figure for me. He was a very great man, and I don't want to take up the time here that you have for your comments, but I just want to make those comments. He was very loved by his family and very well respected in the community in Charlotte, and so I just wanted to give a shout out to my stepfather, and thank you again for your prayers and support. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. All right, we will move to mayor and council member comments, section 10 on our agenda. It is the second meeting of the month. As such, we'll begin with the councilman from District 6. Councilman White, floor is yours.
Well, thank you. First and foremost, I ask that we continue to pray for our troops downrange who are fighting to keep freedom free. We all often think that freedom is free, but somebody has to pay for it. And those soldiers who lost their life early in the fight, we pray for their families. We also need to pray for our families who are left behind with their kids. It's always a traumatic experience when you lose a dominant figure in the household, and then they try to come back and reintegrate. So it's if you can do anything to help those families. I know for me, learning how to plait hair or something like that, or braid hair, it's a challenge for a guy. He might be the spouse that's back that has to figure out how to do those things. So we need to really try to find our spouse and club on the installation and see how we can plug in and help out. Not just say thank you for your service, but love is not what it says. Love is what it does. And then lastly, to my alma mater, Goldsboro High School, those Lady Cougars, to be on a journey with them, to actually support them, when they weren't champions, to now they're being champions, to see the heartbreak of 2 years past, to travel with them, to see the empty gyms and the things, to going to ECU maybe 2 weeks ago and seeing them playing from the packed house, seeing how they actually went up there and they represented Goldsboro High School very well, to traveling with them to Winston-Salem, to see them actually win the state since 1982 was the last time and they weren't even named the same team. They the Lady Cougars now, but back then they were the Cougarettes. And to see that, to see your support and to pour into something and then see the final results is gratifying. I would take those young ladies and I'll put them on the court with anybody, but not just the court with anybody. They're academically sound, and I will put them in the classroom against anybody in the state of North Carolina. They hold their own both on and off the court. They represent themselves well, and so my hat's off to you. I salute you, and we'll be getting with you soon. That's all I have.
Councilman, the floor is yours.
Touche, Councilman White. I just wanted to say that, in addition to celebrating the Goldsboro High School girls, just taking in all the accomplishments of our young people. We are dominating in track, and we're dominating in wrestling and basketball and just all the things. And it has done my heart really good to see how the community has rallied together to support our kids and to show up for one another. And my hope is that we continue to do that on every platform, because there truly is gold in Goldsboro, and all of us play a part in that. So shout out to the community for being there and showing up. In District 4 news, it is getting hot. So that means that we are going to be preparing for conversations and cardio on Thursdays at 6 p.m., inviting everyone to join us at the Dillard track, just to kind of kick it and talk and to get some cardio in as well. So be looking for the announcement on my Councilwoman page for when that is going to begin. Our district conference call is scheduled for March the 26th. The last Thursday of every month. Everyone is invited to join us, but it is specifically for District 4 residents, just giving you updates that's happening within the district and within the city, and things that you need to know and be a part of. And then lastly, I just wanted to shout out every woman who showed up for the Women's History Month photo shoot. It was a beautiful representation of what it could look like when women come together and show up for themselves and show up for one another. So I just want to remind you, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for being there with us as well. And just want to remind you to stay committed to yourself and committed to the commitment that you made to showing up for your sister friend as well. So thank you, Mayor.
Pro Tem, floor is yours.
And thank you for that invitation as well, because my sister friend for the year is Judge Sonia Davis, and I just want to publicly thank her. She has really been showing up for a lot of my events, and I'm grateful for that friendship. And at the same time, the mayor and myself yesterday, along with some other elected officials, attended Women's Day at First Presbyterian Church down on Berkeley Boulevard, and Judge Sonia Davis delivered a phenomenal anointed message. So I just want to honor her today as my sister for the year, and just call her out on that and tell her that she did an amazing job. Wednesday, our police department, the Goldsboro Police Department, along with Partnership for Children and also Safe Kids of Wayne County, is doing an Operation Medicine Drop from 2 until 4 p.m. where the old cloth barn is located at 2303 East Ash Street. So I want to encourage you to get together all your medicines, your old medicines, and bring those. It's actually a drive-through. You don't even have to leave your vehicle. Just bring all your old pill bottles. If you will, just mark your name and your address off of the pill bottles. And bring those, or you can empty all your pill bottles into a large sandwich bag and bring those, and we will have members from the police department, Partnership for Children, and others in the community, and we'll be collecting those medicines for you. Also, congratulations to the Lady Cougars. That really was neat to be there at night, along with the mayor, Representative John Bell. I know you attended the game. Some of you attended the game, and also Councilman Boyette, and it was just so exciting to be a part of that. So congratulations. I know that they will come in on a later city council meeting. And then finally, to our city manager, Mr. Livingston, I just honor, it's been amazing these last few days to read about your stepfather and his legacy. And so tonight, in my closing comments, I just honor the memory of Mr. Frank Arthur. And we, on behalf of this council and the city, we just want to let you know that you're loved, you're valued, and that we're praying for your family.
Councilman, the floor is yours.
So I echo the thoughts of my fellow council women and men on everything they've said, especially congratulations to the Lady Cougars as well. My prayers are with you, Mr. Livingston, and your family. The only thing I have locally in District 3 is March the 30th in Lincoln Homes. We'll be having a Neighborhood Connections meeting for the residents of Lincoln Homes and the Walnut Apartments. So please come out. It'll be at 11. We should have a Goldsboro police officer there as well, and we would love to have you.
Councilman, the floor is yours.
All right. I guess I would say I would echo the things I've heard thus far, and especially Mr. Livingston, you and your family continue to be in our thoughts and prayers. Sorry for your loss, indeed. I had an occasion to be able to attend the tree planting ceremony at Union Station a few days ago in honor of the late Judge Charlie Gaylor. That was certainly a worthwhile event. I was glad I was able to attend. I was also glad I was able to be there when our Lady Cougars were able to arrive back to campus after their win. So this old Eastern Wayne warrior would like to say congratulations again to those Lady Cougars. That's all my comments, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman, the floor is yours.
Yes, I would like to echo Lady Cougars, congratulations. We heard of your victory way in Springfield, Virginia, as I was in a Mid-Atlantic conference this weekend. And when the Goldsboro chapter Continentals heard, we were cheering on, and we're very proud of you for your hard work and determination and your excellence in the academic field as well. We are very proud of you. Also, I would like to do a shout out to my Continental sisters, the Goldsboro chapter Continentals. We once again won the Outstanding Chapter of the Year. We have won for 3 consecutive years, where we, our 5-point thrust is health, education, recreation, and arts and humanities, and we do go into schools, and we work and teach on each and every one of those. This year, we've won 3 consecutive years as Outstanding Chapter, but this year, our new chapter president is Dr. Cheryl Richardson, and so shout out to my Continental sisters. I love them and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of what the Continentals do in the community. And locally, we are doing a community garden. It is in West Haven, and it is spearheaded by Lauren Branch, and we're getting the individuals there actively and involved in growing their own garden, and I'm really excited about that. She is really, really good at what she does in the area, and I strongly support her.
Thank you, Councilwoman. So there's everything that needs to be said has been said. The Lady Cougars, congratulations to you, your families, the coaches, the school. It raises the bar for student athletes in Goldsboro and in Wayne County to see folks that are winning in the court, or on the court and in the classroom, and you're just setting a phenomenal example. We will be honoring you very, very soon. With schools being closed today, it didn't quite make sense to try to do things today, but that's going to happen just as quickly as we possibly can, because it's time to do it. Next, Judge Davis spoke a couple of things actually in Wayne County on Sunday, and a message that she was delivering, and it was public, so I don't think she would mind me restating it. She delivered a sermon about unity and about how you try and work together as a group or as a community or as a collective or whatever it is, and And if you think about it, everything, social media, the way that algorithms work, it's looking for the thing that generates the most animus oftentimes. And then even things in news, generally speaking, are looking at the things that didn't go right. But focus on the core tenets, on the foundational things that you agree on, and you can really move the needle forward for your organization, for your community, for those around you. And her point was that unity does not require uniformity. And listening to her speak and draw that incredibly powerful distinction. We're not talking about uniformity where that everyone looks the same, acts the same, thinks the same, talks the same. We're talking about unity where that we're focusing on the things that all of those folks and all of those differences, the common denominators, the things that we have in common that we can then focus on and try to move those things forward as aggressively and quickly and effectively as possible. And I just thought it was a fantastic sermon. It was beautifully delivered, but also just a fantastic philosophical thought exercise. So I would encourage, as you're sitting around having your meditation, your prayer, think about something in the context that unity and working with folks does not require uniformity. It requires unity. Concludes my comments. Mr. Lawrence, you haven't changed your mind?
No.
All right. Well, then with that, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Motion's been made and properly seconded to adjourn. No debate on that motion, so we will stand adjourned. Actually, wait, we need to vote. All in favor, please raise your hand.